Hello, everybody. This is Demon Mist here. I'm going to do the next part of putting together the War Watch. Today, the goal is fairly simple. I am going to attach some cables to the GPS. So I recorded this earlier, but I did it wrong. But all I've done is I bent the pins for the GPS, put them through the breadboard or the perf board, and I've just soldered a little spot on each corner. That's not for power, it's just to hold it in place. This is where it's going to live. Then I need to put the ESP32 over it like this. And so you can see how the pins reach up here. So this needs to go to these places. So all I have to do is add a lead to each one of these, except for the PPS. The PPS pin takes data from the ESP32. We do not need to do that. We only need to receive GPS data. We do not need to send anything to the GPS. So I'm not going to wire it. And my helping hands here, I used these guys last time, your standard plug and play project cables, and I stripped them down. Today I'm not going to do that. Today I pulled some of these out of a iWatch charging, not that one though, wireless charging thing I bought just for the USB-A to USB-C dongle. They're nice and thin. I know they carry power because they were in a power cable. They should be big enough for our purposes. So we're going to do red for VCC, of course, black for ground. I'm going to do pink for TX and white for RX. I've trimmed these. I stripped the tips of them and I trimmed them to just a little bit. It's maybe 2 millimeters. I'm going to load this up. I'll load it up with solder. I'm going to get the cable in place to where I want it. I'm going to just touch it to it. Boom. Okay, one. Now, this is one of those things. When you solder stuff, sometimes the tip of the solder oxidizes, and when it does that, it doesn't stick as well. We're not quite there yet. I get at least two runs out of this one before I have to clean it and start again. Okay, this time we're doing the pink one. Perfect. Still not oxidized. You can tell because it gets all brown and gross. And sometimes you get plastic from the outside of the leads on there, and that will also interfere with your ability to attach things. It's not impossible, it just makes it harder. Perfect. I'm going to do this on the outside because I can. I'm not super thrilled with that one, but it'll do. So now I have overshot every one of those, and I have what will be live cables sticking out. So you just go in and trim them, dude. It's easy. It's one of the most satisfying things you can do, actually. All right. We are good. I need to clean this because this is going to get covered up. So let me get my alcohol. Alcohol. Dun, 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 dun. I haven't listened to Gogol Bordello in forever, but for a time they were like my favorite band. Just pure chaos. Been known to enjoy a tad of chaos here and there. Just using some isopropyl. I don't have the 90% stuff. I got 70%. So I'm going to repeat something that I've said before. Never, ever, ever work with something plugged in. Now, the nice thing about isopropyl alcohol is it's not conductive. 70% is, though, a little bit, because it has all that water in it. So don't plug things in when you're soldering ever, and don't clean leads while they're plugged in, and don't clean leads while they're plugged in with 70% isopropyl alcohol, because you might short it, right? Now you notice I have the ceramic antenna on here. Before you do this, you put it on there. All right, step 1 is complete. Now what we're going to do, and again, I have the antenna on here. The WarWatch uses the included sticker antenna. It's pretty okay. If you have a watch that has an antenna sticking out of it, people tend to notice. I've been playing around with trying to weave one into a strap, but I have to do some extensive testing, and I'm just not there yet. But I suspect if I made it right, I could have the antenna included in the strap and have it be more effective than the antenna we have now. All right, this is how this is going to be. It's going to be right there, getting it right to the edge. I will, when I'm done, trim this part off of the perf board so that this is sticking out. But I'm not going to do that yet because it's a big mess. These don't need to be this high. In fact, I'd prefer that they aren't. So I'm going to trim them. Look out for your eyes when you trim these things, because they go flying, man. My glasses help. Okay, I just shortened them a little bit. Better. I like it like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to make them stay there. I did that off camera for the GPS, but I'm not going to do it off camera for this. I'll show you how it works. The nice thing about perf boards is that they are very easy to attach things to, both temporarily and permanently. So what we're going to do is we're going to let's get this out of the way. Just put a little bit there. We get the antenna out of the way so we don't melt the antenna. It will melt it. Okay. Now we're going to load the soldering iron. In a perfect world, every bit of soldering you do, you're applying the solder and the heat at the same time, like together. I don't have that many hands, and even with the helping hands, it just is easier sometimes to do it this way, and I haven't really had any problems with it. So I'm going to touch it to it until it flows down into it. Boom. Right now, it is as on there as it needs to be. I'm just going to do the opposite corner for today so that it's on solid, but I can take it apart if I need to. The very first time I tried to do this for the first War Watch, I did all of them, and then I realized I made a critical mistake, and I had to take the jowl out, and God, it's such a nightmare. I'm not good at desoldering. I'm getting better, but I'm not good at it. I butchered it, and I had to use a different jowl. All right, what do we got? We got antenna. Look, Look, I did it. I did it backwards. See, it's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to leave that in there so that you can see how easy it is to make a mistake. Especially when you're gabbing on. Did any of you catch it? Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm pulling down on it and just applying heat to the corner. Ironically, you sometimes need to add a little solder to remove solder, and it's about heat transfer. I'm going to put it on the back of this, and I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to pull down while I do it. See, it's liquefying it. Okay, got that side out. Because I can't, there we go. All right. Good thing I didn't solder them all into place. All right, dum-dum. Let's do it better this time. Just so long the freaking bats don't come in here while I'm working out here. I do not like it when they are in the room with me. Bats are good. They're your friends. And they don't know that. I pulled the whole ring off the perf board. Cool. Good thing I've got so many holes to work with. Don't say it. Don't say it. I blocked this hole. So see, the issue is that this perf hole that I need to be open isn't. And so I need to make it open. So we're going to add some solder. And we are going to add a little bit of, or some flux. And we're going to add a little bit of solder to the back of this. We're going to tin it. It's not sticking to it. Why? Because it's oxidized. You want to do that until it's shiny. And now the solder should go right on as soon as I touch it. There we are. Okay. I've got my wick. I'm going to put it right down on top of it. And we're going to just rub it back and forth. The best way to tell if it works is if it burns you when you touch it. Then you know you did it. The bottom. Okay. I think that's the first time I've done it successfully on camera. Honestly, I messed it up 50% of the time. Okay. We're getting there. Progress is being made. Take this off. I should be able to get this into where it belongs now. I can. Now we can add some more. I'll do these ends this time. That corner and that corner, because I literally pulled the ring off of one of these, and I don't think I can solder to it anymore. Okay, let's do this. All I'm doing is attaching it to the board. That's it. Did I do it right this time? I did. Dumbass. Okay. What will happen next will be I'm going to put the SD card as close as I can get it. Oh, wrong side. To, yeah, just like that. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one. I'm going to bend it, and then we're going to solder it into place. And then we're going to add wires. And again, I'm going to, see, here's the thing. I don't have the wiring diagram with me. I know that there's shared pins between this and this. Certainly the ground and VCC are shared. And so if I solder these on this side to the top, and I solder this on this side to the bottom, I can share the same pin without them touching each other. And the reason I don't want them to touch each other is because you go to solder the new one on and it releases the old one. So the logic here is this goes on this side. I bend these in place to where I want them. I add a little bit of solder to keep it where it should be. And then I will add leads to here. In fact, I could add leads before I solder in place, and I think I should. Now, the thing is that I don't really know because I don't have the diagram with me. This is why you should always have a diagram. Let's see if I can remember. One of these pins isn't used. Certainly the 3-volt pin is. Certainly the ground is used. I know it's only one that isn't used. If Miso's used, Mosi's used, at least I think. So it's either the CS or the clock, and I just can't remember. I can't remember. So I'm gonna add a wire to all of them. The surefire way to make sure this works. All right, so now I got 4 wires. I have more than 4 pins. I have 6 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll have to use some of these other guys. That's okay though. Let's strip them. Everyone strips wires differently. I like to strip them using this part because it's the only thing that I can get to work consistently. Not because it's the best, and I don't have snips that are small enough. So this is what I do. I know people do it with the flush cutters, and I'll get there one day probably. But I just cut them when I do that. I cut them half the time when I do it this way. The fact that I didn't do that for those 4 means I'm improving. These ones do work with the, okay. And I'm gonna take, I don't have a green yet. If you're worrying that soldering is too hard, that making wires is too hard, I just really encourage you to just do it. Just do it. Mess it up a whole bunch of times, make mistakes. Have to do it again. Attach it, reattach it again. That's the good stuff. That's how you learn. And it can be frustrating, and it's okay to get frustrated, and it's okay to get frustrated and put it down for the night and say, you know what, this is too much. I can't do it today. That's okay. Come back the next day. You know how many times I do that? I'm pretty close right now, frankly. Okay. Power's on this side, ground's on that side. That's all I need to know right now. I'll do this, and then we're going to solder in place onto the perf board, and we're going to call it. This has gone on long enough. What is it, 26 minutes? I'm going to have to trim this down to like 5 minutes. What a pain. All right. Some of you know, I know none of you know anything about me because I keep it that way on purpose. But once upon a time, I was an editor. Editing is what I did. I have edited a whole lot of things, and it has never, ever gotten any less tedious. It was tedious then, and it's tedious now. And that's okay. That's like my big philosophy. That's okay. Bad stuff happens, and it's okay. Things are tedious and boring, and that's okay. You just do the best that you can. One of the things you can do is you can get a sense for how long it takes for things to melt and for them to harden, so that even when you can't see what you're soldering, you can be fairly certain that what you want to happen is happening. When I first started, I mean, I've been soldering since I was a little kid, but not seriously. When I first started soldering seriously, stuff on this scale, and not just making abominations in my garage, I mean, this would have taken me forever, and I would have had to redo it. But look at that. Trim, trim, trim. They're trimmed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in place right here. Very interesting, isn't it? Those are all in the way now. If I do it like this, I move over one spot, will it still fit? Yeah. Yeah, well, in fact, and I'm probably going to pay for this. The problem I had with the last one was that this thing was so far in that I couldn't get the card out without having to use a pair of forceps. So why don't we move it back one more? So that's the one we started with. Yeah, let's go to here. We'll do the alignment. So the C sticks out the top there. Yeah, that'll work. I think I can even go back one more spot. Just crazy. So look at all that space that we're using, we're wasting. But I'm gonna do it. If I have to make an adjustment to the case, so be it. It's not like I don't do that all day, every day with every single print I've ever made. So I'm just bending these pins down. Boom. Now we're going to, so here's a thing it's worth looking into. Remember I had these bendy bits? Put the bendy bits in underneath here. Let's see if I can do it. I got these forceps at Goodwill. They are the best. The best. There. This is what I'm talking about. See that height? Can you see it? That's kind of shadowy on that side. Let's do it this way. It just makes it so that it's not going to be bent downward while I do this next part. And this next part I'm going to do while holding it in my hands. Maybe one there, one there. Don't be afraid to get a little burned, you know? Builds character. It's good for you. Okay, we're calling it for tonight. We made some good progress here, though. The next part's more tedious, but this is the work. The work is getting everything exactly where it needs to be, remembering everything in the right order, right? And then we're going to do all the wiring. And then, and only then, when we're done with all of that, are we going to add the screen.